Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Melina's gonna model here, darlings. Now, I was watching this interesting thing on Michael Jackson's life by a plastic surgeon. Now, of course, typically it's done by a plastic surgeon because he's done everything under the sun in terms of getting all these plastic surgeries. The plastic surgeon was just saying to people, like that, getting Michael Jackson's situation where your nose literally collapses is very rare. You have to do a lot of surgeries. I mean, it could happen on the first surgery, but it's like very unlikely. Like a lot of surgeons are like, hey, don't worry. Michael Jackson was just a rare person that did many, 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 many surgeries. So he was trying to reassure people, it's good to get plastic surgery. If you get one or two or three, you're not gonna see any deadly results or anything bad happen. So he was saying that, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then he was talking about how Michael Jackson had a rare skin disease that I guess it made his skin get different patches of color because he's a black guy, but he had different patches of color. So in order to combat that, there was no real treatments for it. So we had to do skin bleaching, which meant that he had to be in the sun. Um, well, no, it meant that when he was in the sun, his skin was very sensitive because it was totally bleached. So obviously he's going to get burned very quickly or whatever. It's bleached skin, like the lightest possible skin. So he couldn't go out in the sun without an umbrella or something, right? So all these things that we thought were so weird and all this stuff that he did, it made sense, like if you and then he had been through a fire in one of his Pepsi commercials, his hair caught on fire. So it was just like, when you're in the limelight and all these things happen, how are you gonna really have an answer to, what are you going to do about it? You have to look good, right? Because you're in the spotlight and you're dealing with all this controversial stuff. Like, who wants to have that skin disease? I mean, nobody does, right? It's these patches. So he wore gloves and different things, but he wanted to bleach his skin to get rid of the whole, finding an antidote for all that. But I mean, it's like, well, when you're in the spotlight, it's totally different because when you're not in the spotlight, you can cover it up. No one's going to question it. No one's going to say, oh, why are you covering up your hands, or what's going on. But obviously, when you're in the spotlight, everyone's going to be like, oh, look, Michael Jackson, he bleached his skin. Oh my God, how weird. But it's because he had that skin disease. So it makes sense. So it's not like it's like unheard of to bleach your skin. If that's the only treatment you can really do, then why not, right? So it's like, but of course, and then Michael Jackson had done some talk about plastic surgery and saying that he just grew into a smaller nose, which obviously was plastic surgery. You can't just get a nose like that without plastic surgery. It doesn't happen. You don't grow up with skin and with a nose like that. You just don't. So he was, so the surgeon was basically saying, like Michael Jackson had this problem. It was a problem that he dealt with, and it wasn't like it was something that you can get without surgery. You need to have surgery to have your nose fall off. And many surgeries. It's very rare that one surgery will do it. So I mean, I don't believe in plastic surgery for that very reason, but I also know that obviously one surgery is not going to be as bad as like many surgeries, right? So if you do one surgery, I mean, it might be, it totally could go wrong, it could go totally wrong, but usually what happens is it's fine because it's one surgery or two or three. But when you get to the point where you do like, I guess he had, I'm not sure if he had 100 procedures or 90 procedures, I'm not sure, I don't remember, but like when you have that many procedures and you're drastically changing your nose, something bad is gonna happen, right? So anyway, I digress. I forget who the person was that was doing the podcast, or not the podcast, but the vlog on Michael Jackson, and I'm like, oh, obviously Michael Jackson. When you think of all this, you think, well, Michael Jackson was a legend, a superstar, all this, but would anybody really want to be someone that was that worried about their looks, that was that worried about, that had to dye their skin because they had a skin problem? That was, was anybody really going to be like wanting wanting to be that person. Personally, I'd rather have been myself. I mean, not that I don't want no offense to the kids. I don't want the kids to think I'm being like all rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying like, if you feel that bad about your nose, who'd want to live in that? That's like a prison, right? Like I love my nose. My nose is great. Like I'd rather be in that position than someone that hates my nose. You know, I love my nose. I love how I look. I love everything about me. So why would I want someone to, why would I want to be like someone that's totally like not the kind of person that I would feel happy with? Like Michael Jackson, was he happy? It's debatable, right? Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye now.